just to cut me down. Say my name just to spit it out. Does it feel better now? So tell me where did we go wrong along the way? What happened to the purpose? 'Cause it feels worthless now. There's nothing left to say. 'Cause every time I tell myself I'm screaming from your soul. We'll watch it fall. Now you come to walk on. Come and set your light through. Just set your light through before we're only whispers in the wind. You can turn my world upside down, a rush like I've not felt before. I can trust myself. I need you to make it turn. I know. Will you follow me when the sky starts to change? Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again. Will you follow me? We won't leave it to chance. We can't wait our romance. We'll never be the same I could keep the light from turning into darkness. You'd be my escape. What have we been told? Easy to unfold. Future might seem average, but we're getting close. Will you follow me when the sky starts to change? Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again. Will you follow me? We won't leave it to chance. We can't wait our romance. We'll never be the same again. Will you follow me when the sky starts to change? Yeah, we won't be afraid. We'll never be the same again. Will you follow me when the sky starts to change? Yeah, we won't be afraid.
With anime in our souls and thoughts of wrestling out of control, we are a group of weebs who love the entertainment of professional wrestling. So allow us to be the voices inside of your head as we go through this wrestling event of the evening, give our thoughts and predictions on what's to come, and provide an experience inclusive to all you nerds out there. So grab your steel chair, yell for the table, and get put through an experience unlike any other. Brought to you, of course, by Anima We Studio. This is the Weebs of the Ring
Mm.
podcast. Happy Monday to everyone involved and out there. We are on to episode 199 of this show. Crazy to think about that we're going to be having episode 200 on Friday. Almost canceled tonight just to make episode 200 part of a bigger show. But you know what? That's besides the point. We'll enter the 200s on a big show. That's fine. It's all good. 201 can be Saturday night's main event, but that's Saturday. Friday is episode 200. This is episode 199. We're going to be talking about Monday Night Raw, or as I like to sometimes dub it, hey, this 2.5 hour show should have been an email. But love to see all of our wonderful returning listeners, all of our wonderful chat members that are out there just chatting away right there. If you want to join the chat, make sure you are subscribed to the Weebs of the Ring on YouTube so you can hear the live show. But hey, we also appreciate you if you're watching the VOD, if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast. We appreciate you guys and girls out as well for checking out the show. But of course, if you're new around these parts, who are we besides calling ourselves the Weebs of the Ring? There's three of us here. We're each the co-hosts of the event. First and foremost, I am your reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world. I am Watkins here. I'm going to be your guide through this fun wrestling event of the evening. And of course, there are two lovely gentlemen here to join me in the discussions here. First and foremost, on the right side of your screen, he is one of the most positive people around these parts. Love and peace as always for him, especially when he's working for The Rock and doing the rock things like working on, I don't know, Fast and the Furious or maybe the next Jumanji movie, and definitely not thinking about his favorite wrestler of all time, Sheamus. Yeah, you thought I was gonna say Bill Goldberg. No, I gave everybody your number two pick of Sheamus. There you go. See, Vash has more favorites than Bill Goldberg. But Vash, how you doing tonight?
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, is your boy, the Latino Heat, Legendary Vash. Or some people call me Vash the Tempest, but hey, it's up to you. It's here. Good to be here. The Latino Heat. Like the shirt is represented today, the best in the world. That is my vote, my prediction, my bold statement for this coming Saturday night. But if you guys want to see our prediction, go check out this Thursday for our Grappling the Week episode for prediction and conversation about pro wrestling. But he said we're almost on episode 200. Chat, just for you to know, we would have had 2 episodes of 200 on the same week, but sadly that was not the case. But hey, it's 2 weeks difference. We're still episode 200. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, Anime Lady Podcast, episode 198 is coming out tomorrow for the episode with Ryan Cole Levy for the voice of Denji of the English dub of Chainsaw Man. So guys, go check that out. It was a blast. It was revving. It was emotional. It was a good conversation. Go check that out. Episode 199, 200 next 2 weeks. Episode 200, Weebs of the Ring. It's a blast. He'll talk about this episode Raw because he said the most positive out of the team. That is for sure. There's a few things I actually enjoyed. Just seeing a 6-woman ending the show, main eventing. Thoughts about that. It's curious to see how the rest of the team felt because if you guys want to know how they get into the show, check out the Discord because right there we have our threads to kind of see how we're feeling so far, right?
Oh, that is right. And you know what? Good use of pun by saying that our show with Ryan was a blast, considering Bomb Devil and all that. But
I do my
hey,
best.
who's really going to give us a good explosion tonight is the man to the left here. He's going to be the guy who's going to help us process these stories or lack thereof that kind of happened tonight. I mean, there was some progression here and there, but you know one step is smaller than two steps, and a lot of these stories are making a half step, if you catch my drift. But of course, he is known around these parts as the genius of the mat. Ladies and gentlemen, it is night.
I'm doing pretty good. And yeah, when it comes to this episode of Monday Night Raw, like I would have to agree with Watkins. It should have been an email on some parts of the show. Like, sure, there was a couple things here and there, but at the same time, I mean, I feel like if I woke up the next morning and I just took a couple minutes to think about what could have happened and I looked online, I feel like I would probably get a good score on the test if I predicted everything to happen on this show tonight, because a lot of these things, I mean, if you watch the product for so many years like us, a lot of these things are like just very easy to read when it comes to the sort of decisions that they
Mhm.
make, or just whatever happens really. But I don't know, there definitely needs to be like some conversations on parts that definitely needs improvement, or maybe like questions that definitely need answers, because it's definitely getting to that point again. It's like you have that hot streak for a little bit and then you eventually go back.
Mhm. Yeah, you eventually like start petering out, and some fans are wondering, wait, why am I watching this show when I could just be watching the highlights and still get the same like feeling as I was sitting there watching the entire show? But hey, again, there was some good things on the show. Like, I'm not saying was a whole big stinker. Like, there was some good things. I would say, just right off the bat, I thought the main event match was really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was the match with JD and Sheamus. That was really good. And then the rest of the show was just kind of, it was kind of boring. Not
It
gonna
just
lie.
sucks.
Like,
It just sucks that when you have a main roster of maybe,
mhm,
like, for example, let's just spit a number, 24 people in the roster of
yeah,
Raw, and we see the same fucking 8, 10
mhm,
people a week
yeah,
in the same show. It's just a rotation. We already have Finn and JD having almost doing 3, 4 backstage segments. Why the fuck do we need more of y'all? Can we get the other
mhm,
roster? Where's the Creed brothers? We already had people that we commented on the same week on that Monday. I think it was me and Watkins, or it was any of us that was saying it. And then a couple days later, there was reports saying like, "Hey, where the Creed brothers at? They disappeared because of this little mishap." I'm like, so we're not the only ones that are noticing it. Other people are also pointing out. So it's like, why do you have a roster of, again, per se, example, 24 people, but have the same exact same faces in a vortex? Why do we need Nikki Bella coming out with Stephanie Vaquer? People already are saying, when is she defending her title next? Why is she about to go up with a tag team with Nikki next week with other people? Like, yeah, it's questionable booking decisions. We cannot always blame the audience about that.
well, now I got a couple questions now too. What is this mishap with the Creed brothers? What?
From
I
what I
don't.
saw on the timeline, people saying that the reason that there's a reasoning, or that they've been off because when they were on their last match, they hurt somebody in the face, and in that match, I forgot who was in their match. I just can't remember the top of my head, so I don't want to say any random wrestler face. And since then, they haven't been shown on TV, so they probably
Oh, that's just fan speculation at
yeah,
that
exactly.
point.
That's what I'm
Like
saying.
that.
Like,
Like,
mishaps of what people are saying, not saying
yeah.
that anything's true.
Okay. And I mean, we'll get into all that later on too. And I mean, if you want more of a discussion when it comes to underutilized talent and all that, stay tuned for Thursday, because we're gonna have a big old hot topic other than our predictions for Saturday night's, some of those utilized talents, and why not they might be using them or not using them, and what they could be doing better and all that. So stay tuned for that on Thursday as we discuss that. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there again, there were some good things, some not, just boring things, if I'm being honest. Like, I felt like it was very hard to really lock into this Raw. A couple surprise outcomes though, I will say, when it comes to some matches and all that. So Yeah, I mean, let's just kind of dive right into it. Let's start, of course, with our main event. We had the women's tag titles on the line. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss taking on Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. This was set up because Bayley did have a social media post. Well, also last week she had said, "Hey Lyra, I got a surprise for you." And yeah, she basically called out Charlotte and Alexa to some tag team match for the titles and all that. And right off the bat, I'm just gonna talk about the match first. Like I thought the match was really good. Like this was definitely something that should have main evented the show. Like all four women brought it, and I think with Lyra being in the mix with these three women, I think is something to take note of because like you're not getting a lot of like Stephanie Vaquer, for example, she's not in the mix with like the Charlotte Flair or the Baileys and all that. Like I mean, granted, she's doing her own thing and building up her own legacy, but like they're putting Lyra here in this spot for a reason because like she was basically putting out all the offense on her team throughout the whole match. So, they've got some big plans for Lyra. They're slowly building her up to the star that she really can be. But yeah, I mean, I thought like especially like the closing stages of this match with like all the big moves we were having, all those pin breakups and everything. And yeah, the match ends up ending when Charlotte and Alexa hit that double natural selection they do. 1, 2, 3. That's the win. That's the match. Titles retained. Great, awesome. Who's next? Well, probably going to be the Kabukis because they attack the team, the face team, at the end of the match. So, yeah, that's going to be our next stop for the women's tag team titles. So, yeah, starting with the match first. Drop, what do you think of the match overall? Did you think that it was main event caliber for especially with how the women's tag team titles have been booked the past few months, which always sounds like a broken record saying that statement, but I digress. What you think of the match overall, though?
So I thought this match was really good. Do I believe it was meant to be a main event? Sure, because it definitely felt like one. The way that the girls were very competitive here, there was a lot of close calls, which you typically get when it comes to matches like this. And I thought they read the room very well. They were able to execute what needed to be done within that match itself. And like you said,
Mhm.
with Lyra being involved here, it definitely is something to take note of because they probably want her to be around these veterans. They probably see a lot of potential in her to grow when it comes to her character and everything beyond that because, she's a lot younger than they are. Like, she's, I believe, in her late 20s, but a lot of these ladies here are
Mhm.
probably, almost hitting 40 soon. So it's like if they've been in the game for so long and they could easily like help teach her the ropes when it comes to a lot of things and just having her around a Bayley and Charlotte and Alexa in a match itself, it definitely does look good on her resume. So I did enjoy this match. I thought it did a very good job here. And obviously when it comes to what we saw towards the end with the Kabuki Warriors, they're the next
Mhm.
people that are going to be coming after those titles, which I felt like was a given considering who they are at this point. Seems like we're going to take a little break with whatever is going on with Rhea Ripley and Io Sky right now. So I'm pretty sure whatever happened with Rhea
Mhm.
um recently probably derailed a couple of things. Maybe this was the plan to begin with. We don't really know. We're not really behind the
Yeah.
scenes observing whatever's on the white chalkboard or white smartboard or whatever it's called nowadays. So it's like I definitely expected them to come out, start something with that, and yeah, we'll see where it goes because there is like familiar faces here, at least when it comes to the history that Asuka has with Charlotte and Alexa. I don't
Mhm.
really think Kyrie that much because she really wasn't there around that time when Asuka was like really in her prime all of those years ago when it came to whatever program she was involved with Asuka
Mhm.
and Alexa, but it should be a good match to see, what happens within the match itself. I do expect the match between all four of those ladies to be very good, so that's something I'm not really concerned of. But yeah, I did think
Mhm.
this match was pretty good. I will say that.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good that it was. And I I want to say there've been small interactions with like Kyrie and Charlotte and Alexa, but that was probably like during that first run she had in the company.
Yeah.
So memory back then is all hazy and all that. Um, but Vash, what about you? What did you think of this match? Was this one of the rare instances where Vash was not feeling the love and peace, or hey, did this hit right where it needed to in terms of your wrestling quality meter within your mind? Ooh.
Hey, Chad, if you know Bill Goldberg, you know Oscar was putting him out on the timeline, giving him the most polite response. But I said, hey, fuck your record. I beat your shit. But hey, respectfully, go do your thing, my guy. So if you know, Chad. When it comes to this match itself, one thing I would say, like I mentioned earlier in my intro, that I was very
Mhm.
happy to see the six ladies being the main event. I was more overall just seeing that Triple H, the higher ups, they believe that these six ladies can end the night. The match itself of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus the chaotic of Bayley and Lyra right now. But then we had Asuka and Kyrie come in at the end. So these six ladies ending the main event was kind of nice because we spoke about it for the past what I think 2 months, 8 weeks that we had the Vision ending the main event for almost a good 8 week type of streak. Like,
Mhm.
hey, we're tired of the same repetition of show back to back of the same main event of the Bronson. So it was nice to see a bit of a difference with the women. That's one thing I want to put that front and center. That glad to see them having their own event. However, when it comes to the match, I felt like when Charlotte comes out, gets the
Mhm.
hot tag at times, I feel like I'm not locked in. Not in a bad way, chat. It's more than like see her do her Flair chops. It's great for Bayley and Lyra, doing the selling and everything. But like I feel like they're overselling for the Charlotte, trying to make her look too good, too hype, and I'm not here for it. So like me as a fan,
Mhm.
I just don't care or see the authenticity. Like, all right, cool, Charlotte, do your thing. I care for it. Move on. That's the one thing out of this whole match that I was kind of least excited for. Like, just seeing Charlotte Fair, the crowd screaming for her, saying, "Oh my god, woo!" And I'm like, moving on. I would have been really shocked if Lyra and Bayley actually won. I didn't expect them to win. The only reason is because
Mhm.
Charlotte, is always about the record. She said, hey, we are two defenses away for us to be breaking the record of the most defenses of the women's tag team." And I'm like,
Neat.
really? Really? Like
Yeah,
two more makes it that you're breaking the record. Like, how many have you done so far in 85 days? I'm like, I don't feel like you've done that many, but in my head, it must be like they've done like at least four by
Mhm.
now. It feels like they're about to break 8 or 6. I don't know, but it just sounded like more like question. Like I was scratching my head when I first heard that. I was like, really,
Right.
Charlotte? Like, is that what you were care for? Like breaking record out of 8 type of, I guess, defenses? So I was thrown off about that. I don't know if I was the only one. I was just
Mhm.
thrown off. I don't know if that just makes it more solidifying how people say is that it's not about the reign of the longevity, but it's more about the defensive the story. So I don't know. It depends where Charlotte's going to. Like, is she trying to go more for the defensive, for the matches, for
Mhm.
for the grappling? Because I do give that Alexa and Lyra had a good type of grappling session during the match. So that is something I do want to shout out to. That was a little nice session. With Charlotte Flair holding her the bridge, I was a bit questioning, like, okay, so Lyra stopping Bayley from tapping out. So then Alexa's gonna hit Lyra. In my head, I was a bit questioning with how that type of spot was going for, but the execution was still the same. They won at the end.
What what had you confused with the ending, that ending part?
Oh, so with Charlotte doing the bridge of for
Mhm.
4 leg, and with Bailey about to tap out, Lyra
Mhm.
was holding her hands to not tap out. She could have
Yeah.
done more, but I assume for the spot, it was more for Alexa to do her flip and attack Lyra. I assume that was more the spot kind of focus, not really have her tap out or do something else. Like, hey, don't tap out. I'm gonna do something to Charlotte to stop the bridge. But I guess it was more for Alexa to execute the flip that she
Yeah.
did over the top rope on Lyra, and then the bridge collapsed. I guess that was more the spot for it, but I was like, Lyra, you could have done more than just stayed there and not hold the hand. I feel like you could have done more, but I guess for the spot, that was the point.
I mean, I also I guess at that point, like within the match too, like in kayfabe and all that, like Lyra's kind of been beaten down at that point, and so it's just like, all right, I have enough strength to just like keep her arm from tapping,
That too. So that's why
and
I didn't stress
then
about it too much. So yeah.
so yeah, yeah, so okay. I mean, yeah, I thought the match was really good, and like there were a couple times where I thought it was over, like the Sister Abigail DT. I thought
Oh
that
my
was
god,
it.
yes.
The Nightwing, I thought that was it. So good on Bayley and Charlotte for having the timing. Also, Lyra, I hope your hair's okay because it got caught on Alexa's shirt during that
Oh,
pin.
I didn't notice that.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she had some trouble after Charlotte broke it up because I thought it wasn't gonna get broken up because like I saw it like stuck like right there, like right after she hit the move and went for the pin, and then you see her like kind of tugging her shirt trying to get it like her hair off of Alexa's shirt, and you see the camera like kind of pan over to Charlotte and zoom in a little bit. So I guess I had to figure that out. So yeah, hopefully your hair's all right, Lyra, but. Yeah, I mean, again, I thought it was really good, and plus, we're telling the story still of like how Alexa and Charlotte are this big dominant team. Especially if you use like just their accolades to kind of level them up and all that. Like, yeah, they should be up there. They are up there. Um, Bayley with her hot charge on Charlotte was really good. Kind of
Agree.
continuing on this like, I guess we're turning her story now into, hey, Lyra's basically becoming her hype woman, if you will. So it's just like, okay, let me bring out the beast, the monster that's in Bayley, and that just lights her up and all that. So yeah, fine. If Bayley needs a little bit of a hype woman, then go ahead. Fine, whatever. I will say though, like, because we did have a backstage segment, which kind of led to why the Kabukis went out there at the
Yeah.
end of the night to beat them up. So they saw Lyra like walking out of this office or locker room or whatever, and both Asuka and Kyrie are kind of yelling at Lyra. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of getting tired of Lyra's overacting because like I can only take her surprise, like taken aback, like oh, like I can only take that face so many times or that reaction so many times where it's just like, girl, can we do something else? And that's not going to be the first time you hear me say a statement like that tonight, because there's another person on the roster that you kind of need to work on your facial expressions when cutting a promo. But I don't care. I don't care if it's just a me thing. Just figure something else out, because it's getting to that point where it's just like it's kind of cheesy. It's like a little too over the top for me, like it just takes me out of it a little bit.
Interesting, because for me, I think I said this in our thread that for me was the opposite. I really enjoy her. What was you know what? Perfect example. Me and wife was watching One Piece, so we was watching the clip of Usopp and Robin having to escape the flower capital. So they had Brooke doing an expression, and they had to change their expression of their face, and it was more like like this. So when I saw Lyra doing it, it kind of gave me a bit of the One Piece of the facial expression during Wano. If anybody know, you know. So it just, when I saw that, it gave me a bit of comedy, like people know, like slapstick comedy, like the Looney Tunes and everything. So when I saw Lyra, I enjoy. I have a good time. So for me, when I see her, I haven't been turned off yet. Like I've been mixed with the Grande. Like a couple months ago, I was still digging it, but now I'm starting to turn over. With Lyra, I'm enjoying her expressive side.
Yeah, and I didn't see any of it, so it doesn't mean shit to me.
Yeah. Good, you missed nothing.
Yeah, I missed that
Absolutely
completely.
nothing.
Yeah.
Uh Except for, obviously the tease with the Kabukis. And
Oh,
they
yeah.
even went to Charlotte and Alexa later to tease them as well, which, I mean, the absolute cojones for Asuka to be like, hey, Charlotte, you're not ready for Asuka yet. How many times has Charlotte beaten
Yeah,
you
that's what I was gonna
in your
say.
career?
Yeah, because she even said that too, like that she's beaten her
Yeah.
a couple times. So it's like, why? Like, I can understand using that as a statement if this person hasn't beaten you before, but she should know that
Yeah.
Charlotte's had her number many times. Like, Charlotte's the reason why her streak was broken on the main roster. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna say NXT because that streak is still intact there. But on the main
Yeah.
roster, Charlotte's the reason why that streak is broken. So I don't really think you're qualified to say that anymore to her. You got to think of some other
Yeah.
clever one-liners.
Yeah, but I mean, I get it. It's part of the shtick. It's part of
Yeah,
the confidence of Asuka and all that. Like, I
yeah.
get that part, but I do want to mention, because Vash had mentioned it earlier about the video package. I find it so funny how, like, I mean, and just the timing too of it, where it's like, oh, I guess Asuka's been part of the company for 10 years. Let's celebrate Asuka for 10 years. I don't remember them doing much of that with anybody else, but they
No,
did it for Asuka tonight. And I feel like that was on purpose because of the Bill Goldberg statements made this past weekend, where it's just like, oh, some girl beat my record. It's just like, oh, you want to keep poking the bear of how petty WWE can be. You just found out again tonight. Because, like, if anything, and this is just like tinfoil hat speaking right here, if anything, this kind of proves Saturday night's main event with Goldberg's retirement speech getting cut off like it did. Yeah, yeah. I don't think WWE are very hot on Goldberg, and if that little debacle from the summer was any indication, this just because again, like it's not saying like, oh, Asuka doesn't deserve to be celebrated. She should. She really does.
Oh, sure, 100%
Like
should agree.
I would be one of the front people saying she damn near deserves every single thing she gets this year. But like just the timing of it, because again, like I've never seen him do something like this for like Dolph Ziggler or anything. Hell, for Kofi Kingston, his 11-year anniversary was him finally getting a WWE title shot after 11 years. Like,
It was
I don't
interesting
know.
because
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but it's funny that Waka brought up about the Oscar because when I was watching it, in my head, I was, as people are aware, I work in production, I work in entertainment. So the first thing that popped up in my head was like, huh, we're seeing each year of her life in the company. How do they organize this in the files? Do they have Oscar 2019 files? Do they have 2018 models of Oscar? Do they have these in file? Like, do they have a folder for you? That's the first thing that pop in my head. Chat. Not about the video package. Is how do they have the inventory for these superstars and who organizes it? I was like, wait, I should be thinking about this. Why am I thinking about organization within a company that's not even mine or I'm not even working for it? So I was just curious. That was so out of left window. So I was like impressed that they did this within like 5 days or a week because they wasn't even promoting this until like this morning. So it's like,
Mhm.
hey, 10th anniversary, let's just promote her now. And I'm like, okay, whoever worked on this, great for them, great video package, great in the editing. But I just on the editing aspect, I just got curious, like, how do you have this organized with all the superstars, with all the promotional campaign they have done, all the spots they have been. So like I just was curious. I know others don't care about what I thought about that, but I was just curious, like, how do they put the inventory?
They asked Chat GPT. That's all they did because that's their storage bank.
yeah,
Look up shit, to look up our own history. It's just like, come on, man.
Wow, they did
Google
that.
exists. You had a
Crazy.
WWE that no, don't get me started on that. But what I will get started on is our world heavyweight title picture, because we do need to find ourselves a new world heavyweight champion. And we've got two big contenders ready for that action: Jey Uso and CM Punk. They had a face-to-face tonight. We also had a couple backstage segments with Jimmy and Jay. I'm gonna be honest. I might leave that up to Vash and drop, because I was not really locked in during those segments. So apologies on that, folks. But with this opening segment with Jay and Punk, First of all, you get your long Yeet concert coming out there with Jay. For some reason, it felt longer this week than it has any other time.
Yeah.
I really don't know why. That again, I could probably chalk that up to just me just not being in a good mood already at the start of Raw. So already I'm going in annoyed, and then you have Jey Uso just yeeting everywhere for like 4 to 5 minutes, and it's like, all right, can we just get on with this, please? Like let's go on and all that. And I mean, he cuts a decent promo where he's basically shutting out all the noise. He's listening to himself and all that stuff. And before he can get his catchphrase out comes CM Punk, and he doesn't really blame Jay for what he did. If anything, he praises Jay a little bit. He's just like, you've showed that you have what it takes to make it here. But how far are you willing to go? And that's really what Punk is after here. Like, how far are you willing to go? Are you willing to give it all up just to be at the top of the mountain again? Or are you still going to be that Jey Uso or be that person that is going to be helping people and is grateful for all the help and all the benefits that you get for being a Samoan dynasty warrior and all that? But I mean, promo segment ends with some yeet, some screw you, Punk. You're gaslighting everything that we're doing, trying to get people on your side and all that. And I mean, it was pretty much a basic promo, at least for me. The execution was pretty good, but I mean, it was just them hyping up the match and giving more of a leeway to, I guess, getting excited for this match. But I don't know. It was pretty standard for me. It just kind of reminded me that Jay's not on the level to really be a main event promo worker.
No.
Like even his comeback was not that good
It wasn't.
at
And I'll
all.
say this as well.
Like,
It wasn't.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
What'd he say?
That go ahead.
Oh,
What?
what'd he say?
Oh, Vash, why don't you go ahead and let us know some of what Jay was saying in this promo, and just like kind of giving your thoughts about what was said, how everything kind of came off. Like again, like when you look at it on paper, it's just kind of bare bones, but again, execution, it was pretty good, at least on Punk's side.
I do agree. I feel like Punk was the better execution when it comes to the promo. It felt more juice. It felt more elevated. It felt like
Mm.
Punk was giving the rub to Jay, and that was the
Yeah.
weird part to me because Jay was just standing there accepting it, like, "Yo, I'm gonna see you Saturday, and I'm gonna show you business.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
get back my title, deuces,"
Mhm.
and
I
just
hope
walking
not.
off. And that's what's more it was. And it's like I was a bit disappointed because Punk shouldn't help you in your story in what's going on. He could help guide you there, but without you even adding any input or emphasis on what you did, that was what to me was very shocking. For example, Punk told, "Hey Jay, I understand what you did. You push your own brother. If it was me, I understand. I would have done it too. Survival of the fittest. Anybody, one person has to go over. Not two people, one." Jay was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Nah, bro. You should have said, yeah, that's what I did and that's what I'm doing. You should have
Yeah,
added
see,
more. It's all about me. I'm gonna go back for my title.
that
I
is
learn from others or something." They added something to your story on top of what Punk is guiding you with. But then for Punk to continue with like, "Hey, I'm glad that you finally not listen to others, but do your own thing." And Jay was like this, just nodding. "Yeah, talk your shit, my guy." And I'm like, no. Like, I
Oh
get the
my
attitude and
God.
narrative over the past couple months, but right now, you have a vacant title. You gotta put your 10 toes down on the ground and stand yourself. And I didn't feel like all 10 toes was there for Jay. I feel like he was just taking the promo and then just walking off. And as a fan, I was a bit disappointed. I don't know if there was more on the surface level or anything I missed, but I was a bit flabbergasted from what could have been more, but it was just very less than what I could have expected.
So after hearing that, like the only thing I really have to say, just give my thoughts on what you just said is why is he still involved in situations like this? Because
Yeah.
if he's not prepared to be in a ring, especially with somebody like CM Punk going toe to toe on the mic, then he shouldn't be there to begin with. Because I'm sorry, I said it in the chat, and I'll repeat what I said there. It's not much. It was only like a few words, really. I'm like, CM Punk, okay, I can get behind that because CM Punk has proved who he is for the past decade plus. We know who that man is. And when it comes to Jey Uso, I'm just not really clicking with the whole thing with him being involved in the world title picture anymore. Like, sure, it was cool when it first started and everything, and I was completely behind him and all that. And sure, he has his reasons as to why he wants to get that title back. But at the same time, I'm sorry, but CM Punk and LA Knight would have been a lot more intriguing heading into this Saturday for Saturday night's main event with a vacant World Heavyweight Championship, because obviously CM Punk is on a mission to get his title back because he was screwed over because of that. And then you also have the story that they've been telling for the past couple months about, oh, will LA Knight ever become a world champion? So then that gets thrown up in the air, and it actually makes you feel like once you walk into that Saturday, hey, maybe this could go either way. And I would have to say, I would probably feel very similar that I did when Stephanie and Io had their match with each other, which I would be happy with either outcome when it came to who won that match, which I was. I would have felt the same way if WWE actually did LA Knight versus CM Punk. LA Knight went, shh, oh my God, it finally happened. Great moment for him.
Yeah.
CM Punk, I mean, hey, who doesn't want him to actually have a legitimate title reign? So it's like that would have been like more that would have been on my table a little bit more, something more that something a lot more appetizing for me. I just like I'm just starting to like slowly walk away from the whole Jey Uso thing, because it's like, dude, you really need to figure out like what's going on around you. You can't keep jumping into all these different spots all the time. It's like, even if he's
Yeah.
portraying this new version of himself right now, you should know who you are. Like why are you giving like these, one word answers when Punk's giving you a response like yeah or shaking your head and everything? Like, you have this new attitude. You can't think of anything more creative. You can't, talk some shit to CM Punk like you've been doing to your brother for this past couple of weeks, or what you've been saying to LA Knight. Like, there should be
Yeah.
more coming out of there. So it's like, I mean, I'm only hoping that either, CM Punk gets that W this Saturday, because they need to find, obviously, they need to have a champion heading out of the event, because I don't really know if I can get behind Jey Uso winning it. I don't think he is, but it's like, I don't think I could really get behind it, because I feel like then it's going to feel forced. It's not going to feel earned like it was like all those months ago when he
Yeah.
won the Rumble, and then he, defeated Gunther at WrestleMania to eventually get that win and everything. Like, I don't know. It just sometimes it feels like things like feel convoluted sometimes when it comes to these plot lines in WWE, where it's like you do one thing, you're on the right path, and then all of a sudden you just like start backpedaling for whatever reason. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I don't know if I could really.
Well, it's kind of a pacing issue at that point, because it's
Yeah.
like what they'll do is they'll make an angle very hot. Like a great example of this, because I saw a tweet about this earlier today. A great example of this is when Chad Gable left the Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
It was a very hot angle. People were getting very much behind Otis. I think it was
Yep.
around the time like we were doing the show too, like
Yep.
and talking about it. Like we were anticipating that singles match. They never had the singles match for months. The angle died down, and then they finally had a random singles match for I think it was for a shot at the IC title. I don't know. I don't remember what it was
And nobody
actually
cared
for.
for it.
Yeah, nobody gave a shit about it, and it's just like the same thing is kind of going on with like the Bronze right now, especially Braun Breaker, where it's just like, okay, you had a chance to really I mean, I'm sorry, just hot shot the title on him, but I get it. You want to do it at a bigger show, have more eyes on it. That I get that aspect of it again, but you also kind of want to make Saturday night's main event a big thing, but what do I know, right? But Yeah, I really don't know what they're doing, and just to kind of help with the promo from tonight, I was actually able to bring up a good site that kind of like had some of it. So I'll try to like highlight some of the bigger parts from it. So like after Jay came out and did the Yeet concert and all that, he said, "Oh, I've always been on myself." And all that, and yeah, blah blah blah. Got interrupted by Punk. Really like that Punk ran it back with his own music. I thought
Yes, love
that
that.
was a nice touch. See, everything good about this opening segment kind of came from Punk, but
Yeah.
that's whatever's. He said, here we go. Yeah, he said he likes Jay, so it makes it harder for him to lace it up against him. He said he always listens to himself, but that's harder to do when you're losing or about to lose. He said he had a lot of questions tonight, but Jay's body language and his action last week answer a lot of them. Now, with Punk mentioning body language, this gets into the thing that I had an issue with Lyra about. Jay, find a different face, buddy, because like he always does his face where like he's trying to like muster up the courage, I guess, or so, I don't know. It looks like he's about to cry every single time, or cry or crash out. I don't know which one, or maybe both. I don't know, but like he's got to find something different besides this whole like, man, why don't he want me, man? Like why don't he want me in the main event, man? Like
What does
I
that
don't know.
remind me of Will Smith in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he was upset about his father?
Because that's what I was going for.
Execution chat.
Exactly. Where was the one though? Oh, I did like this. He told Jay he will realize against him, he's a situation he can't quote unquote yeet yourself out of. And here's Jay's response to all of this. Like, and that's just like the rough Cliff Notes version of it. But with Jay, I don't have to do a Cliff Notes version. Here was his response. Let's go, Punk. He
Yep.
said he's been in deep waters before and he knows how to swim. He said he gets the fans behind him and he'll paint a picture that he's the bad guy. Screw you, Punk, he said. With increased volume and intensity, he said he will show him who the best in the world is. He ended with 4 letters, 1 word. Fans yelled yeet. Jay's music hit and he leaned into Punk.
I'm gonna say this right here. I like cartoons. I covered them. I talked about them on my channel many times. But he really needs to stop acting like a cartoon character. Like it almost reminds me of Woody from Toy Story when you have the string. When Woody's not acting like himself, he's just an inanimate object. You pull the string, you get those catchphrases every 2 to 3 same catchphrases when you pull the string. That's what it reminds me of Jay. Like like they need to be more creative with this. I get it. It's the stick. It's the catchphrase. It makes them money and everything. But it's like it just feels like so robotic. And we all watch this product because it's entertainment at the end of the day. We want to feel absorbed. We want things to feel natural as we're watching so and so having a conversation with one another. If it's a backstage segment, if it's a promo in the ring, wherever the case may be. It just seems like you're heading into a big match, and this is a big match technically because it is for a vacant World Heavyweight Championship. You're pretty much the shit on Raw if you get this title. So it's like, take it a little bit more seriously. Like it just seems like, okay, let me just write, a couple notes and then, that's it. Just say whatever's on my mind. Like it almost seems like, sometimes it's okay if you could like go off the dome and stuff, but I just feel like they need to do a little bit more here. Like like I said, I get the whole catchphrase thing, but it's like I'm getting annoyed with it. And then I'm gonna bring this up again because I get tired of this. The whole like rewind. I get it. They're at the show and everything, but it's like, I mean, it's a meme, sure, but I mean, I don't know, man. Like, there's just so many other things that they could really do with Jay, and I hate to say that I'm getting a little I'm not really like as hyped to see Jay as much as I has before. Like I'm more intrigued with him not involved with the title than him with the title. Like this whole thing that he had going on prior to being inserted and winning that battle royal, because there was so many other people that could have won that. You could have even kept Braun Breaker in there, and he would technically win that opportunity that way if they wanted to do that. But it's like, I don't know. Like, it just feels like sometimes there's people on the show that they could do something a little bit more than being next to a title or focus on something else. Like, I would just take him and Jimmy just arguing back and forth if he didn't win that battle royal than just seeing this on
Yeah.
television. Because like I hate to say this, but when you think of CM Punk in a big money match for a title and stuff like that, I'm sorry, Jey Uso does not pop up in my head. I'm just gonna be honest.
No.
He does not
Yeah.
pop up in my head. I would think John Cena, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, names like that. Fuck, I'd even throw Sheamus in there.
Mm.
Finn
Yeah,
Balor.
and like exactly. It's funny you mentioned those names too for tonight, but it's like, and I get the story they're trying to tell with Jay, especially if he does. And I mean, I'm still gonna say if because there is a part of me that feels like they would throw the belt on Jay again because why the fuck not? But and I would rather that not be the case. But
Same.
Same.
whatever.
I mean, I'm saying
Um,
this. I used to say Jay over Gunther, Jay over Ilja Dragunov, Jay over anybody when it comes to. But for this lineup, CM Punk versus Jay, CM Punk deserves it. Like Job said, Jay right now has a better story going on with Jay and Jimmy. With Jimmy even wiping off his brother's hands when he touched him
yeah,
on the trainer. He's like, ew, germophobic motherfucker. I don't want to have you on me. I don't even like you. I don't want my own twin brother to touch me. Like, I'd rather see
yeah,
that story than rather see right now. Like Drop said, the rewind is cool, but do it during commercial break or something. Don't do it while we're watching like live TV and
mhm,
everything. Do it during commercial where the audience could enjoy the extra 2 minutes. That's fine. When Punk does it, I was like Wade Barrett said, it was that psychological warfare trying to get into your head. All right, cool. Wade Barrett trying to twist it. Cool. Punk did it. That was good execution. But like I said, Punk was the winner out of this promo, and I hope he's the winner out of this match this Saturday as well.
yeah.
If he doesn't, I'll be sad as a camper.
Yeah, and Punk at least knew when to cut off his music. Like he was just like, all right, bits done. It, I was able to do it. All right, cool, we're good. But like, there's a little bit more that goes into all this because, like, we have mentioned Jimmy, and we would expect some sort of fallout from all that happened last week, which we did. We got a couple confrontations from the two guys. The first one with Jimmy going up to Jay, like, hey, did you really mean what you said out there? And like, they're kind of getting into each other's faces, kind of almost teasing another match between the two, with Jimmy being the one being like, oh, you're scared to find out who the real better person is. And I'm sitting here thinking, who won at WrestleMania 40 again in the match that a lot of people say was the worst match of the weekend?
Yeah, that was like 5 minutes, I believe. Or
5 minutes of super kicks and uppercuts.
Oh boy.
I think
Yeah.
I think they're both mad at or upset that they really want to try to redo. Like I understand things had to get sped up because of other things that happened that weekend or whatever. But just I know they're upset and they want to have a retry on their match and the moment of the Royal Rumble, like their Royal Rumble moment of being number one and number two, that one was way better than what we had of their own match at WrestleMania. That's what I'd rather see. If we're gonna get a match of Jay and
Mhm.
Jimmy, I'd rather see what we saw as them as number one and two for Royal Rumble.
Mhm.
That was much better.
Yeah. And then even Jay trying to come back. I don't know. Like, we made a little bit of progress with their story, but I don't know. Like, I don't even know if Jimmy's even gonna cost Jay the title, or
Yeah.
I really don't know where they're going. And quite frankly, part of me doesn't care because again, I know the match that we got at WrestleMania 40, and unless they add a stipulation to it, I don't really care about seeing it again.
No, I mean that might just be my bathroom break match. Because like
Yeah.
it wasn't good, and it's like because
Um,
sometimes you could like go online and you could see like a few people saying something, but that's like an opinion the community shares, and it's usually a lot of the same people thinking the same thing about that match. Like not one
Mhm.
person that at least I've seen that really enjoyed that match. And I honestly,
Yeah.
it's like even the way they built it up, even with the whole promo package, like the promo package for that match itself was a lot better than what we got.
Yeah.
It was untapped potential. They could have done so much more with it.
Yeah, and they just didn't. Which, and I mean, that's just them not really having good chemistry. Or, I mean, again, their offense is super kicks, uppercuts, and Samoan drops.
Oh boy.
Like, yeah, it's literally watching Goku fight Goku, but not in the good way.
Oh,
Actually, no, scratch
So
that.
Goku
It's like
versus Goku
Krillin.
Black.
It's like Krillin versus Krillin. Actually, no, that would actually also be fun. It's like Chaozu versus Chaozu. There we go. I don't give a shit about Chaozu. I hate Chaozu. Anyways, speaking of little mimes, let's go ahead and talk about the Judgment Day because hey, there are two little mimes that are on the Judgment Day, but they still talk, and one of them has a huge ass forehead. Yeah, so the Judgment Day had some joints tonight. What's wrong? What's wrong, Vash?
I'm sorry, I'm just laughing. The Walkers took the moment. Just say, I'm gonna just take this moment on the podcast and just shit on Chatsu Chat.
And
You know, fuck Chatsu Train, Dragon
fuck
Ball. If y'all
Chaozu.
don't know, fuck Chatsu Train. I just love how you took the moment, just be like, yo, not the Goku reference, not the Krillin reference. Let's just throw it on the side character that has become the most side character that people have forgotten, Chatsu.
Look, just be glad I didn't say Chopper. Just don't be just don't be
Oh shit!
just be
That got me
glad I
hot
didn't
for
put
my robe.
Chopper.
Oh
Oh my
shit!
god.
I'm sorry. Let's go back to our show.
No, you're fine. You're good. You're good. But yeah, the Judgment Day, they had some joints going on tonight. Mainly Dom. Judgment Day are just kind of and I can see it too now in Raquel. Judgment Day are just kind of done with Dom, like done with all his shit and all his shenanigans. When you have somebody on your heel stable say, "Oh, maybe this is retribution from Adam Pierce because you keep cheating in your matches." When you have your own teammate in your heel stable saying that, maybe you're kind of the shit person, which it kind of baffles me that like because in all of the like when you kind of look at the story, Dom's kind of the heel in all this. He's kind of the asshole in the
yeah.
group, but they're gonna eventually turn him babyface because of like mainly because of the crowd reaction. But I don't know. They're gonna find some way to spin it to where he's the face. But like, I'm sorry, I can't really get behind it in that kind of story sense because to me he's just the asshole of the group, and because of all that, nobody wants to help him or really play into his little stick going on right now. Because hey, you kind of made your bed, buddy. You got to lie in it. And yeah, so basically, there's a number one contenders match tonight: Rusev versus Penta. Sorry, did not watch the match. Why? Because I knew after Dom got on his little phone, be like, "Hey, I need some help." I knew there's gonna be a Latias and a Latios going right to that ring and interrupting the match. And guess what, folks? There were because all three El Grande Americanos throughout the match. Boom, boom. Hey, there's your setup for a triple threat match. Uh yeah, that's Saturday night's main event. Yeah, sorry, I blanked on if it was happening this Saturday night. But yeah, triple threat match, Penta, Rusev, and Dominic Mysterio all in the same match. I mean, Dom's gonna retain early prediction there. Dom's probably gonna retain that somehow. I don't know. That's it. That's all I
But
got for it.
the most
Like,
funniest thing about
just what
this
happened.
match, not saying that I didn't care for it either, but like Watkins said, he knew the outcome. So is there reason to watch the outcome when you already know? Like, imagine you find out what's the One Piece. Do you still want to watch the One Piece show and sit through 1,000 episodes? It really depends
Mhm.
on you as a watcher. For me, when it comes to the match itself, I didn't give a shit because exactly what Watkins said. I knew it was gonna be a triple threat. During that time, I did a step up on my tablet and I came here, turn off booting my PC to get ready. Saw the document that Watkins made, and I'm here overseeing it, and then watching the show notes. And the first thing I see is literally chat. I didn't even watch the match because it was gonna end in DQ, and lo and behold, the outcome, Latios and Latias, chat, I had the most funniest outcome because in my head I'm like, El Gran Americano cannot be my Lugia because I knew they were gonna come out because when Dom got told by Finn and JD, you're on your own, Reka said, usted está sucio, usted es uno tan peroso, we're not gonna help you. All right, cool. Dom said, pick up the phone, said, necesito su ayuda. I'm like, fuck it. It's the triple grandes. I'm like, God damn, it's the Spanish motherfuckers. That's a crazy thing, chat.
I like how you say Spanish motherfuckers, but they're all like English, not anywhere from close.
Oh,
to,
like none of them
any
are actually the country, yeah.
Spanish speaking countries or anything. Like, okay, El Grande Americana, that's cute. Yeah, Drop, what do you think of this segment? I'm going into segment, even though we did have a match, but I don't know, kind of hard because I'll go on that tangent later. What do you think of the match?
So I didn't see this either, but I mean, like you guys said, it's kind of easy to see where things would have headed because we've been talking about this for a bit. And if you look at the pattern, the way that things are headed, both of those men got screwed over in their matches against Dominic Mysterio. So it was only a matter of time before they wanted to make that a triple threat match. Those two guys can get their hands on Dominic Mysterio. And as much as I would want there to be a new champion, because I definitely feel like there should, because I wouldn't care if Rusev won that match. I wouldn't care if Penta won that match. Like either or, I would be completely okay with, because I just feel like the amount of work that Gunther put into that title and what Sheamus and not what Sheamus and what Sammy did with it for a little bit. I just feel like all that hard work just disappeared, because it's like this was supposed to be a title that had a lot of meaning and everything. We were really supposed to look at this as the world title, really, because that's kind of how it felt at times, because whatever that championship was there really wasn't being represented at the status that it should be. But it's like, I just feel like Dom's overstayed his welcome with this title reign. Like, yeah, he won it at WrestleMania and everything, but the way I look at it from then, it was just a moment. Like, I feel like you got to give it to someone else. Like, AJ Styles was the perfect person to give it to. They didn't do that. And then you got these guys, Penta and Rusev. Like I said, you could give it to them. They're probably not going to do that. Like, there's only a matter of time where you could, like, screw around so much until you get caught. And I feel like that definitely has to happen, where Dom just loses that title or whatever. I'm just kind of getting tired of him as a champion, so I really hope we get to a conclusion with that. But yeah, big surprise here. We're getting a triple threat match. I mean, nobody saw that coming. So it's like, I don't know, man. And then this whole El Grande Americano thing, like I get it. I get what it's trying to do and everything. But it's like, I'm just hoping and praying that Chad Gable comes back and just completely destroys that gimmick by just beating up all three of those guys and just coming back to his former glory. Like, that's that's honestly what I want. Like, have him beat up Kaiser and Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne, because I know he can. He could probably beat both the three of them, considering how strong that guy is, and who knows what he's going to look like when he comes back, because in the world of wrestling, whenever someone comes back, they look completely different. Example being our United States champion, Ilya Dragunov, does not look identical at all since we last saw him. So it's like, I'm just waiting until we get to a proper point with this IC title.
You bring up a good point, Drop. I've noticed that every wrestler that gets on leave of absence of surgery, health, or whatever it is, they transform. But I wonder if the WWE staff tell like, hey, don't use social media for the next 6 months. Hide yourself with sweaters so you don't expose, stuff like that. I wonder if they tell them like a type of regimen, because it's like Chad Gable, we haven't seen him use the social media in a while. He's been off top of the grid, because before he was on the show on the TV, he was posting his workouts. He was posting every week, but now that he's not, you bring a good point that he might come back more builder, more bigger, definitely not taller because that can't happen unless he get an extra, growth sport. But that is very good statement. So Chad, he might go from bigger ready to more bulkier. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of that too kind of comes with like post-surgery medications. Like sometimes it is like sometimes it is like a medical steroid to kind of
Yeah,
help, get your body back into working
yeah,
order.
that's
And
true.
I mean, they've got that extra testosterone with it. Yeah, let's kind of bulk up a little bit, like legally, of course, like whatever bullshit with that. Hopefully that means the Creed brothers comes back with him.
Hopefully.
Like, have them fucking do something. But again, Thursday, Thursday conversation.
Oh
We'll
yeah.
keep that for there because that's gonna be a whole rant in itself. Um, but no, don't worry, everybody. That's not all for the Judgment Day tonight because Nikki Bella was going to be taking on Roxanne Perez because of all the stuff that they're doing towards like Stephanie Vaquer and all that, kind of teasing this match, especially after this Nikki Bella match of at least Stephanie versus Raquel, which is something I kind of prefer, except for Nikki trying to like insert herself in there, but fine, cool, whatever. Roxanne Perez actually pulling out a win here. Was not expecting this. Like, I was expecting. Well, that's the thing. It's like she's been on a losing streak and like losing a lot
It's for
this whole
development.
year, and then like, I mean, just randomly beats Nikki Bella on a random episode of Raw. I'm like, I mean, I'm all here for it. It's just like, okay, cool, neat. Match was kind of shitty though. I'm gonna throw that out there. Like,
Oh yeah.
again, this is coming from somebody that does have some bias. I am not a Nikki Bella fan already, but you give me a match like this, I'm just like, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna tune out again. And oh wait, Roxanne actually won. Oh, neat. Well, she deserves it. Good, perfect, awesome. Um, again, post match beatdown onto her. Again, another horrible attack from Raquel onto Nikki that summons Stephanie Vaquer for the save, leading up to hopefully just a singles match with Stephanie and Raquel, then do a singles match with Nikki Bella. Don't do a triple threat. I don't. I just no. I don't like it at all. But
Mm-mm.
John, what do you think of this match?
So, yeah, when it comes to this match itself, I'm just happy that Roxanne was able to get a win here because she's somebody that I thought would be getting a lot more wins under her belt, considering how high they looked at her during her NXT days and the
Mm,
way that she is being presented over there, which is one of the things I do have an issue with when it comes to a lot of talent coming from NXT. It sometimes feels like their aura is like completely wiped out, like after they leave NXT and then they hop onto the main roster and then they just get treated like a mid carder because she's not a mid carder. She can actually be up there having matches outside of what she's doing right now because I'm happy that Ilya Dragunov is finally being represented the way he is. You know, that's a plus on my book. I was expecting the same thing with her. Like, what are we doing? We're just taking out Bayley and Lyra just because they're going after the tag titles. They're dealing with Charlotte and Alexa, and we're just swapping them with Stephanie Vaquer and Nikki Bella. Like, what's going? Because I saw the little thing towards the end or whatever interview I saw where I guess there's going to be a tag match with those two against the other two where I'm like, okay, we're just, swapping
mm-hmm.
pieces around and everything. So it's like I'm just honestly happy that Roxanne got a win. The match itself, yeah, not
Yep.
really for me, didn't really care about it as much, but uh man, we got to really figure out like I said, like once we do, we're really like promoting this heavy when it comes to Thursday's show because that's when a lot of the frustration is gonna come out. And this is like definitely another example of like misusing talent because you could do so many other
Mm-hmm.
things with Roxanne outside of this. Like, I just don't get it. It's like you look at what you have in front of you. You spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on these talent, and they just get represented in such a weird way. I just
Yeah.
not understand. I'm not gonna say thousands, say millions and millions, because that is true. Well, thousands and millions, depending on who you are, really. But it's
Yeah.
like, come on now, like, what are we doing here, man? It's almost like I'm watching the same show on
Thousands and millions.
watching the same show on repeat.
Thousands and millions.
It's not just me, right?
Yeah. No.
All right, cool.
No. Oh. No, I think we good. Oh.
Everything should be fine.
Hold on. Yeah, drop your pause on our end.
Everything should be fine.
Okay, so we can't hear him. The stream is still going, everybody.
But here's the.
We
But he
can't
hears
hear.
us.
Yeah, he can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you
But for
perfectly
some reason,
fine.
drop, we cannot hear you.
But hey, chat, it's been a great show. Hey, hopefully you guys don't forget to follow us on social media, Twitter, TikTok, IG, YouTube Shorts. We're doing our thing.
Yeah. Vash,
Uh,
Vash, what'd you think of this match? Like,
What I think I did about this match has been very. I didn't see it, honestly.
You didn't miss anything, so don't worry about it.
yeah. There we go. Now you're back.
Hey,
to
I
a
hear you
strop.
now. When it comes to the Nikki Bella and Roxanne, honestly, not saying that I really didn't pay attention is because I've been having a neck pain all day and on my neck,
Hmm.
and I just said, hey, I could hear it, so I heard it. But did I see it? No, but I heard it. It was cool to listen. Commentary, very nice. It was good background noise. My neck was getting a good massage though. That's why I gave some good feedback. My wife, good massager. That's all I
Nice.
got.
Very
That's all I
nice.
got.
I was working on a short form content video, so I was using my time very, very wisely at that point.
There you go.
I don't know. I think what really just got me was just like the end of the match when like you get this big stare off with like Stephanie Vaquer and Raquel Rodriguez, and it's
And
like,
then Nikki Bella said, "Why the fuck
Yeah,
are you
she's-
standing there? Why the fuck?"
what
This is supposed to be a
what gets
Raquel
me-
and Stephanie moment. Like,
Yeah.
cool, set this up. Raquel's finally becoming the main eventer that we've been better of. Nikki, why are you in the shot? If I was your place, I'll be like, get her out of there. Why is she in the middle? If she was supposed to be there, but I hope this is my theory, and I hope I'm right. I hope this is not Triple H trying to do what Kiana James is doing with Julia. We have Nikki Bella with Stephanie Vaquer or something, other type of bullshit. Hopefully that's not the case, because if it is, hijo de puta, yo saying, oh, how this makes no sense.
No, it's all to get Nikki another title shot and to turn her heel and blah blah blah, all that bullshit.
Pretty
But,
much,
like,
yeah.
my thing, but my thing was like she was selling that attack from Raquel, just like laying there, and like Stephanie, keeps her up and all that. And like the moment Stephanie stands up, turns around and stares at Raquel, you see Nikki Bella quickly get up. So it's just like it takes you out of it,
It
and you're
does,
just like,
it did.
wait. You were just selling like you were like very much hurt after that match, and you had just gone through a match, but now you're just like automatically up, staring up. Okay, fine, cool, whatever. Like, I don't know. It just kind of irked me. I wasn't a fan of it. And like speaking of like almost being thrown out and all that, I almost thought this match itself was going to get thrown out because there was a moment where like I thought Nikki hit Roxanne like hard enough where like I don't know if they were like scared of a concussion or something, because like you see Jessica Carr like kind of hold Roxanne at a little bit of time, and I almost thought she put up the X to like end the match. Yeah,
I didn't notice that. I didn't lock in on that one.
yeah, it was like early on in the match where, and I don't know what move it was. I think it might have been like a punch or something. Like, oh my god, if Roxanne ended up getting taken out because of this match, the internet the internet would have loved that. Like,
Yeah.
they would have had a field day with that. So hopefully everything's fine with you, Roxanne, because she did seem a little wobbly during that part. But she finished the match all right, fine, and she seemed fine afterwards. So hopefully it's all fine after that. But of course, our last thing with the Judgment Day joints is JD McDonut taking on Sheamus. Why is he taking on Sheamus? Well, last week during the Battle Royal, the Judgment Day, both Finn Balor and JD McDonough were thrown out, and even though they were eliminated, they helped eliminate Sheamus. So hey, good on you, Adam Pearce, for saying that they illegally eliminated Sheamus. Why didn't you mention anything about Dom? But that's besides the point. That was last week. We won't worry about that. But I will say, second match of the night, these two, like JD McDonough, really brought a fight out of Sheamus. And
Yes.
you might think, oh, Sheamus, this is going to be an easy win for Sheamus. No, in fact, Sheamus actually lost this match because, some interference from Finn, mind you. But I mean, it was still a really good match. Like both guys really brought, like, especially JD, like he was a feisty little Irishman tonight against Sheamus. And I mean, it was just
chose
good to
fight
see.
too, which I was
Yeah,
impressed. He
exactly.
actually volunteer. I will
Yeah.
volunteer. He did the girl for the Hunger Games. I volunteer to Finn.
Mhm.
Finn was even shocked, like, wait, you wanna you
Yeah.
wanna fight Sheamus? He's like, yeah, I got it. And if I win, you give me my rematch of tag team belts. When I heard that too, by the way, Chad, I was disappointed because in my head I'm like, no, JD, maybe go for the mid card. Finn, go for the world title. Yeah, just to
Soon.
hang out, but maybe not yet. Maybe not yet because JD, I would love to see you. JD, you will be amazing. You will execute I'm gonna speak this to existence. JD with the IC title as an open challenge with how good he is with everyone in the ring will fucking cook so well on the week to week.
Yeah.
At least a good 8 weeks straight, 8 defensive. Lose after that, bro. JD will solidify himself as a big donut head of the IC title.
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's just, they would have to do some writing to make it believable that he would do that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yeah, again, I thought the match was really good. That's about it. Yeah, I mean, they get a tag title shot now, so that's great. There you go. There's your lot. No, drop. What do you think of this match and just like the falling act or not falling action, the effect that this had towards them getting their tag team title rematch?
So I thought the match was really good too. I did see bits and pieces of it, but I was looking at both of the competitors involved. So from what I've seen, it was a really good match. So I shouldn't be surprised because JD McDonough and Sheamus have always put on good matches whenever they actually have the chance to really get in there and do something if it's not rushed,
Hmm.
which it shouldn't be rushed because they're on Netflix and everything, but that's another conversation for another day. But it was nice for them to get their feet wet. Hopefully, we could see more of this in the future when it comes to JD McDonough versus somebody else and actually getting Sheamus on television again. Maybe even tweaking his song like you're doing with a couple of the other people and the other show when it comes to SmackDown because I don't want to hear that song every time Sheamus comes out. I mean, bring Sheamus his
Yeah.
song that you had for like a couple weeks, the song that a lot of people asked for years on end and just randomly disappeared. But yeah, it was a very hard fought match with one of these guys, and I will say I was surprised that Sheamus lost this match because I really thought that Sheamus
Yeah.
was going to beat JD McDonough because it's like you said, even if JD McDonough were to become a singles champion one of these days, it would really have to make it believable just given the current status and the reputation that he really has. Because whenever you look at him, you could be like, well, yeah, that guy could probably lose. Oh yeah, because like we talk about fall guys here,
Hmm.
he's definitely somebody that I can call a fall guy. So it's like if he
Yeah.
builds those reps and everything and he gets that reputation that he needs where he is believable, I wouldn't be against something like that. But here we are now. I didn't necessarily know this was a match for
Hmm.
them getting their rematch and everything like that. Or maybe it's just them wanting to
Well,
use that momentum towards something, which I assume that's probably what it was so they can go
yeah.
against AJ Lee. Wow, yeah, where is she? And
Yeah, like there's the other thing, which
with actually, no, I can say that because it does fit the
yeah.
tag team. With
Yeah.
AJ and Dragon Lee. So there we go. We're gonna get that match next week, and everything should be a good match between the both of them. And
Hmm.
hopefully, the Judgment Day find a new door they can go through, so we're not seeing the same programming all the time. Not talking about the Sheamus match or anything, but like whenever they're done with AJ and Dragon Lee and whatever goes on and the other vortexes that are created. Hopefully, we find a new start for them eventually.
Yeah, and yeah, and it's just like what you said. JD and Finn were trying to use that momentum that they got from that win to be like, hey, JD won his match. Why not give us a tag title shot? And it was literally like them backstage with Pierce and AJ Lee, and then being like, yeah, we're fighting champions. We'll fight you for the title. We'll defend our titles, our championships. That's my little AJ Styles impersonation there, folks. But yeah, I mean, great match overall. I thought running back eventually. That's what I say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have anything more to say on that. And Judgment Day are doing their thing as always. But you know who is doing their thing? Oh, that is big old LA Knight. Yeah, he is. Well, I feel bad because he had that little interview with Jackie Redmond in the back, and Jackie did not hold back. She was just like, "Yeah, how do you feel about failing last week?" And it's just like, "Damn, girl, like you don't have to go on all hard like that." Damn. All right, fine, whatever. But of course, Ellen Knight, he's gonna do what he needs to become world heavyweight champion. He issues a challenge for whoever wins on Saturday night. But first, he's got to get through Braun Breaker, who is getting this match because he wants to beat somebody up. He's trying to play ball with it. I don't know. Again, this is one of those backstage segments that they had with like the Brons and Paul Heyman. I was not locked in for, so I'm sorry, chat. So maybe Vash, were you able to catch some of this?
When it comes to this LNI promo, yes, I did catch it. Was it any different than what LNI is trying to prove it to the audience? Say, yo, I lost, but guess what? I'm gonna still find my way to the top. No matter what people got behind me, I'm gonna push it down and get through the wall, and I'm gonna still be on top. Yeah, that's what it was. It was literally
Yeah.
the same old, same old. Not saying it's a bad thing, chat. It's just that when you want somebody to win, you want somebody to be on top, but then he gets that pull out of the ground because of nepotism. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. What about did you see the backstage segment with the Brons and Paul? Because
Yes, I did. When the Bron
yeah,
and Bron Breaker, it was just Bron Breaker asking, yo, Paul, talk to me. Why the fuck can we not be in it? We took it out,
yeah,
we got
that's
our
right.
chance, and why couldn't we do our thing? Paul was like, listen, but I felt like Paul kind of like reminded me a bit of the Godfather. He's like,
Mm,
listen, buddy. You gotta wait. You're too young. You gotta wait for your moment to strike. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm getting from Paul, which is not a bad thing. It's just more like they're I don't know why. Like, I get it. Saturday Night Main Event is not the big event they want to have Braun Breaker, but it's like, are you gonna milk it and have it wait that long where people stop caring? Because like Braun Breaker, if he would have won this Saturday, if he was there at the main event versus LA Knight versus CM Punk, Braun Breaker would have had the biggest pop in that arena and every single week. But hey, they didn't want to put somebody that's a 27-year-old as a title holder.
well, I don't, I don't know. Like I feel like they just want to keep slow burning it, which on again, like I said earlier, on one hand I get it, but on the other hand, like why not just take a chance, But I don't know. I don't run the company and all that, but yeah, again, this all leads to a match with LA Knight taking on Braun Breaker. I thought the match itself was fine, especially the ending part with like Braun Breaker just like kipping up really quickly and just going right into the corner as LA Knight jumps and then hitting him with a spear. I thought that was really done really well. But I mean, everything else, I mean, you get Bronson Reed interfering, they're pulling off big power moves, and yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just very formulaic when it comes to WWE sometimes, especially with the weekly products. So it's just like
I
it's
do
kind of hard for me sometimes to talk about a match like that.
I do want to say the speed that he did to end the match was really good because Elena was
Mm,
about to do the elbow drop from the top rope from the right corner of the rope, but then he actually like Bron Breakker,
Mhm.
what the speed! He literally got up so quick. LA Knight roll over, and then Bron Breakker did the LSP, and then 1, 2, 3 pan. I'm like, God damn! It was the speed of a cheetah and the strength of a bull. It was so quick to Bron Breakker. I was very impressed in that quick 20-second flip. It was really good.
Yeah. Yeah. But Chop, what did you think of the match and the slow burn that we're doing right now with Braun Breaker?
So the only part of the match I really saw was the ending. Like as soon as I looked
Mhm.
back on my phone again when I was watching it, it was the kick up and then he went for the spear and it got the 1, 2, 3 on LA Knight. So that's basically all I saw. And I kind of felt like it was probably going to go down that direction anyway, because they got to keep these guys strong, especially with what they did with Seth
Mhm.
Rollins recently. They can't really sugarcoat anything and just be like, oh, we're going to have him lose this week, or then we'll have him win the next week. Like they really need to, continue with the momentum of what they're doing, because obviously the day that Seth Rollins comes back, both of the Brons got to be prepared for that whenever that moment happens. So it's like him coming in here, getting that win and everything. That was nice. And seeing how they had that little conversation back that I did see a clip of on Twitter where they were talking about, what they're doing. Like they should be here, but they're not really there right now. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like if you feel that the moment it's right, like I get it because this is like a typical thing they do. It's either like always a
Mhm.
WrestleMania moment they want to have, or a SummerSlam moment, or Royal Rumble moment, whatever the case may be. Like they always want to be like, okay, when you get your first title, we want that win to be at WrestleMania or some other PLE or whatever. But it's like sometimes when you could feel it in the air, sometimes it's okay to do it at a Saturday night's main event or Survivor
Yeah.
Series or whatever the case may be. Like even sometimes when people win Money in the Bank, they end up cashing in the same night. Like sometimes when the moment is right, the crowd's behind him and everything, you still get that same reaction because whenever he wins that title, that's not going to be his only title. He's going to have like 2 reigns, 3 reigns, 4 reigns, 5 reigns, etc., so on, because he's going to be in the company for many years, because he's definitely going to be like one of the guys that we probably see down the line whenever all these other people are gone. So it's like if they feel the moment it's there, do it. Like even
Mhm.
if honestly, like I was talking about how LA Knight and CM Punk would have been a good match with one another, which it would, because you could feel the
Yeah.
intensity there. Even having somebody like Braun Breaker go up against a veteran like CM Punk at Saturday Night's Main Event, if he were to win that title, that would be a big moment itself, because you're placing him against CM Punk. That's a huge name in the wrestling space, not just in WWE, but just wrestling in general. So it's like, don't feel afraid to create moments and stuff like that. So I'm really hoping like we have, a good follow up when it comes to what happened with the attack and everything, and like how we're gonna build beyond this and what Paul Heyman is gonna say moving forward and everything. Because I don't want it to be one of those things where it's like I'm gonna beat this guy this week and then this guy the next week. Like I really want to know exactly what they're doing. Like if they're not, focusing on that world title right now because it's occupied with something else. Maybe after everything's all settled and done with this Judgment Day business, and since you have those titles on baby faces, because they're more than likely not getting those titles back, maybe start prepping it for those guys to win the tag titles or something. You do something to capitalize or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of like this whole waiting to pull the trigger kind of thing. Like they always get something so hot and then they're just like, "Wait, hold on. Not yet. It could be even better." And sometimes it can be better. It could be on a bigger stage, but it comes down to again just like the whole pacing aspect of like a superstar's push or anything, because there's just a certain formula that WWE and TKO are in right now where they're just kind of stuck in there and all that. But again, that's more of a discussion. Again, I know I keep bringing up Thursday, but like these are topics that like we're gonna be kind of hinting on this discussion piece that we've got coming up on Thursday. So again, if you want to make sure you check that out, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, all that notification bull chicanery when it comes to that. But hey, speaking of bull chicanery, we're gonna move right along now to our quick fire segments, or segment as I have here, because only one thing on here. So Maxine Dupree, she is going to be getting one more shot at Becky, but we don't know when, because apparently she wants to go and train a little bit, get a little bit better because of everything that's been going on with Becky. I don't know if this is her like we're going to be doing stuff with Natalia again or Natty Neidhart, which if we bring Natty Neidhart into WWE's frame, yeah, y'all aren't ready for that beast of a woman. But it could be her, or it could be maybe this is where AJ Lee finally comes back to do something, maybe leading to Survivor Series. I really don't know. But yeah, Maxime Dupri's getting another shot at Becky for the title. What y'all think about that, Vash?
So look, Maxine, I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen next because this hype of yours could die down. Because literally, you was having the biggest pop of everyone rooting for you to literally win the title last week against Becky Lynch. However, I feel like I'm gonna put it down because this is the first thought. Walking Saturday, when I heard that Maxine, like, you know what, I'm gonna take a second. Adam, you said that you're gonna give me my match when I'm ready, but I need to talk to somebody. I feel like there's something that I need to improve on. Great. The first thing that popped in my head, AJ Lee is coming back. That's my first thing to pop up. AJ Lee. Because if you're gonna hold off her moment and you're gonna give it back to AJ Lee, because most likely we haven't heard from her, we haven't heard her tweet because she's probably injured or she's already healing up, bruised up. The match of Russ, nope, not saying it. Back in September, the PLE. So that could probably be the case. That's my guess, AJ Lee. But Maxine, I would have loved if you won last week or maybe something future, but I think your chance has slipped away. If that changes, I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what about you, Drop?
I mean, it's either Natty or AJ Lee. I feel like it's going to be AJ Lee because we still haven't wrapped up that story. I feel like that's probably a common thought process of a lot of people aligned because there still needs to be that opening. And we haven't heard anything on that. And then she had that little thing, which is like, oh, I got to talk to somebody. So now there's a opening to the door there where you can actually walk into the room now. It's almost like you get those magical keys from Super Mario Bros. 2, where you go down, you get the key, and you find a little hole to find whatever items in like the other room behind that closed door. Like now AJ Lee has a chance to come back. You could, have the match at Survivor Series. Obviously, you can't do it because we have the event this week, so you can definitely plan it that following pay-per-view that we end up having. So I expect that to happen. Like it can easily be one of those things where it's like, okay, you got the match again, they're both going at it. Becky starts doing some really nasty stuff in the match itself, and then all of a sudden you got AJ Lee coming for the save or doing something. And yeah, that's basically like what happens there. Like I don't like, is Maxine going to become a champion one day? Sure. I just sometimes you could feel it, and I don't feel it right now because there's still other things that there's still other stories you need to write before you get to that one. They just left that thing with AJ Lee and Becky Lynch open-ended. Like you don't just have AJ Lee pin her and then they just don't have any execution afterwards. Like I feel like this is kind of the moment she needs to come back and then do whatever at that point, because then you could, actually give us like, okay, what's next in this chapter between both of these ladies. So as much as I hate to say it, and I mean this with no disrespect, Maxine's probably just going to become an afterthought, honestly.
Yeah. Like after they're done with this Becky stuff, I mean, hopefully they do keep some sort of push going, at least having her on weekly TV, but I don't see much going on beyond this little story that they're telling until like the next time they want to build up her winning the IC title and all that. So yeah, I just don't know when the match is going to happen. I guess we'll find out maybe next week. We'll find out when it'll happen.
Yeah.
It's definitely not happening at Saturday's main event, and it wasn't scheduled
No.
or at least said it was going to be next Monday. So they'll probably spend a week and it'll be the following Monday on Raw.
Yeah.
So that'll at least give us some time after Saturday night's main event and leading into Survivor Series with whatever we're going to be doing there. But with that being said, we've reached our end of the show. we've come to the end. We've talked about everything. We've noted the things that we liked, some of the things that we didn't like, and hey, gave you some good reasonings and some truths on why that is. Try not to be a hater for a lot of these things, obviously, but hey, sometimes the bias does come out, But I mean, overall, when it came to Raw tonight, it was okay. All right, there were a couple good matches, a couple standout matches. I thought, the main event women's tag title match I thought was really good. JD versus Sheamus was excellent for how it was and where it was on the card. A lot of everything else was just kind of there. I mean, again, it did push some storylines along, but not doesn't really suit my taste at all when it comes to all that. But Vash, what do you think of Raw overall tonight?
This Raw was a sleeper one. I do agree that could have been sent in an email or hey, Triple H, maybe use your roster that you have a hold. Don't need to have them all in cater. Don't need to just have them hang out in one spot. Actually, show them not only in main events, give them TV time they deserve. But hey, we're just a couple old crickets here that are small, but yet not yet big. That are just telling you some opinions. Let us know if you guys agree with us because hey,
Yeah.
we're just giving you guys our thoughts, our honest opinion, how we feel about the event, and giving it in a critical fan type of perspective. Other than that, Raw show was fun.
Yeah. All right. What about you, Drop? What did you think of Raw overall tonight?
So I thought Raw was all right tonight. I mean, sure, there was a couple things here and there. Like I would agree, those are probably my two favorite matches of the night: the Sheamus and JD McDonagh match, and then you had the tag title match to close off the show and everything. I'm just really hoping like we get to a point where we actually know how to properly use characters instead of just backtracking all the time. Like actually learning to take risks when they're needed and just really figuring out exactly like where the ship is going to be landing because sometimes when I feel like I watch these shows, I feel like there's just more there, but then we don't really get it. And it doesn't have to be a lot, but it's like there's just a lot of easy directions to follow here when it comes to things that you should do. Like if you read a book and you know the characters very well, you know the kind of actions they would choose as you read further beyond that. So it's like I'm really
Yeah.
hoping we do get things shaped up for Survivor Series because that is like the last big PLE outside of like the special we have for John Cena's retirement match in December. But I'm really hoping they
Mhm.
capitalize with that last PLE they have when it comes to exactly what we're going to be building heading into WrestleMania. Because next month for sure is when you really start getting that WrestleMania feel, where you start
Mhm.
foreshadowing what's going to be happening in April once that event happens. Like
Yeah.
you start telling a story, like how that one time Roman and Cody locked eyes. You start building to that and everything. You're gonna see a lot of things like that happening next month. So I really do hope they have a solid plan when it comes to all of that.
Yeah, I hope they do too, and all that. And again, as you guys have heard for the past, hour, 40 minutes plus, these are just always our opinions, and we've all got opinions, much like everyone has a butt. And right now, my butt is telling me, hey, you need to end the show right now and take care of some business. So, Vash, you've got exactly 1 minute to give us all of the plugs of where people can find us, where they can talk to us, where they can interact with us. Your minute starts right now, Aru.
So, chat, if you're checking us here in the Weebs of the Ring channel, you guys checking the stream. Also, you are seeing the collaboration from the Animal Studio VOD and also main channel. We also have the Off the Bench podcast coming out every Mondays at 10 a.m. We have the Anime podcast coming out, like I said earlier, in the recording of this stream. We have the Ryan Colt Levy, the voice of Denji of Chainsaw Man on that episode. Myself, Watkins, and Drop was a guest on that to discuss with Ryan about his career and for the voice of Denji. If you guys want to check out our social media, check out all the links down below for all the description of IG, TikTok, Twitter, and as well, check out the short form content coming out from myself and Watkins, and also from Drop when it comes to our content of the podcast, of the Ryan, of the reactions, or of myself on your Comic Con. So we appreciate all the support and the feedback by sharing it to your friends, to your grandmas, and to your cousins. And thank you very much, chat. We also appreciate all the comment down below of the streams. If you let us know what you thought about it, like, and also subscribe if you haven't. If you see a red button, you gotta make it gray.
Boom. I don't even know if that was a minute. I wasn't really actually timing you, but
From what
my
I saw,
buddy,
it was 12:36 to 12:37. It could be a minute and something, or it could be under. So I feel like success.
all right, good enough. Because hey, my butt very much appreciates that, and hopefully your butt appreciates what it sat through. Because hey, again, we've reached the end of our show, and this is the time that we take to say thank you for tuning in to the Weebs of the Ring podcast. Again, if you enjoyed what we had to say, why not do all that wonderful stuff that Vash was able to tell you guys all about? We are known as Weebs of the Ring on all social media platforms. Be sure to follow us all there, and be sure to also use the hashtag Weebs of the Ring to interact with us before, during, or after those shows. Feedback is always appreciated, as we are nothing without you lovely people tuning in. Weebs of the Ring is presented by Animo Studio. Thanks, of course, to our production team for all of their hard work. Thank you once again for joining us. And remember, as always, no stunt grannies were harmed in the recording of this podcast. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see you on Thursday for Grappling with the Week.
Eat.
Have a good night, everybody.